Hello, this is week 6 for our class, and this week is all about infant and toddler social emotional development. As most of you already know, is infants, they're developing that social development from day one. The first year is all about attachment. And most often they become attached to more than one caregiver. Obviously, the primary attachment will be to the parent or parents or other family members that take care of them the most. But they also become attached to caregivers. If the parent works and they're in daycare for a good portion of the day, they will become quite attached to the caregiver that's with them for the day. By the end of the first year, you're going to see a lot of stranger anxiety and separation anxiety. Totally normal, happens to everyone. On page 186 of your textbook in chapter 9, I do want to really point out the types of attachment and especially the fact that attachment is often different in different cultures. And even though attachment research tells us that, about 70% of children are firmly attached to a caregiver, and the 30% that are not are liable to have some issues, this is not all the same for all cultures. So be just a little bit leery of attachment research because depending on where children are and how they're raised, their attachment may look different, not good, bad, or anything else, but just different. That's all. There is a really good video, though, that shows some attachment research being done, and I have a link to that on our announcement page. So then, progressing on through, just look at the rest of this chapter. I wanted to point out that the author does point out 2 specific factors that are really, really important when it comes to attachment and family stress, and that is poverty and parental depression. And I would add to that any kind of parental mental illness, whether it's depression or some other kind of mental illness that they have. And then we go right from there into toddlers, and those terrific 2-year-olds, and they are trying to assert their autonomy. It's the no, I can do it myself stage. The book does point out that there are cultural variations in autonomy, just as there are cultural variations in temperament. I have a link on our announcement page to some real good examples of what these 3 different types of temperament look like, and kind of fun to watch. All right, and then let me share the screen really quickly and get to what we're going to do this week. Here's our assignment page. Okay, so this week you're going to do the cognitive development and social behaviors. So what I'd like you to do is create a list of behaviors that are important to encourage in toddlers. Things like sharing, being kind, being empathetic, I would throw in there, even though it's not written here, being helpful. And I'd like you to come up with 3 or 4 or more others of your own choosing, because I'd like to know what you consider as important, not just what I consider as important. And then once you have your list, explain how those cognitive characteristics of those young children, we're talking about the toddlers basically, shape our expectations about how and when children should acquire these behaviors. And then explain what adults can do, caregivers, to teach these behaviors given the cognitive development of this age group. When we're talking about cognitive characteristics, I mean, look at the twos basically. And, 2-year-olds have very short-term memory. They really do not remember well. So that would certainly affect what your expectations of them could be. 2-year-olds also are extremely self-centered. The whole world still revolves around them. They have not learned how to focus on others outside of themselves. So clearly that would shape our expectations of their behavior, and it would influence what we would like to teach them. Think about all the other cognitive characteristics of young children that you learned about last week, and then how those would shape your expectations for their behavior and what you could do about it. All right. If you have any questions about this assignment, please let me know. We'll set up a Zoom appointment and talk about it. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.